Good evening and Happy New Year. My name is Dr. Nona James, and I am going to be your instructor for this quarter's CONR 725, Beyond Power. The course has to do with the theory and practice of appropriate decision making, and it is a requirement for the EDD doctorates program. I just wanted to spend a few minutes just to say how thrilled I am to be part of this particular course with you, and just honored that I am your instructor for the course. We have 7 weeks together, and I hope these are weeks that will be productive and informative, and more so, I am looking forward to hopefully you leaving the course with a toolkit of information, not only academically that you've accomplished, but the fact that you're able to have some resources and items in your toolkit, your resource kit, as I like to say, you're following on, that there'll be things that you'll be able to carry on, not only when you complete your coursework, but into your work life or your work experiences. So I really do believe that there is a lot of content that has to do with the subject of power and what it has to do when you're looking again into the marketplace, your work centers, your organizations that you work with, be it the federal government, private sector, nonprofit. I believe that this course is going to provide a nice overview of information that you'll be able to use. During the 7 weeks that we're together, we're going to be looking at, hopefully you've looked at your syllabus, and each week is spelled out on there, but it will be information on the theory of decision making and the neuroscience. One area that I really am looking forward to, the couple of them, is that neuroscience section, the module that we're going to be looking at, as well as fairness, ethics, and the decision maker, and the dilemma of power and love. And then last week, the last week of the course will be culminating with looking at just bringing everything together and decision making and the organizational leadership. But as I was sharing, my favorite ones that I think that are most that I've enjoyed researching, and even in my own past experience, has been that related to the neuroscience and decision theory and the area of fairness, ethics, and the decision maker. From a employee that has been affiliated with the federal government for 39 years, and working with a lot of organizations in my career that I'm in, and you'll hear more about that. I'll be posting my bio, so you're welcome to get to know me a little bit better through that. But the one area, if I had to pick something out of all the modules have value, but the one I think is most important is going to be the one on ethics and decision making. Because if we do not have that core foundation for maintaining values, dignity, respect, and then ethics being primary, then all else fails. The integrity and what the leader takes into the organization and how they maintain themselves and making those difficult decisions and maintaining ethics and integrity is very, very important. And so those are things we're going to explore, and I'm just real excited about it because of the experiences that I have. Just briefly, I will share with you that as I shared, I have 39 years with the federal government, with the Department of the Air Force, and 29 of my years had to do with organizational management to some degree when I was in what's called manpower and personnel. And in that particular field, my primary responsibilities had to do with cost management and organizational development based on manning structures. A lot of it in the private sector would define it as industrial engineering. And along with that, the specialty areas that I was highly involved with was productivity and organizational structures and development of the organizations, and how to be more productive and cost efficient, cost effective, doing more with less. And I think you all can understand that when we have fiscal limitations that are placed on industries, as well as just where our national economics are forecast. In this, even though my role was in the federal government, these are tools and resources that can be applied throughout any industry, government, state, city, private sector, nonprofit, even the small entrepreneur. These are going to be, I think, tools that are valuable, and hopefully these are things we'll be able to explore in detail. I just wanted to take this time to say hello. And by the way, I'm in the Rocky Mountains. I live in Colorado Springs, Colorado. And I am an ACU Wildcat grad. I finished the Conflict Resolution Reconciliation Program in 2010. And so I have been closely networked with ACU and the Conflict Resolution Program at the Abilene campus. I've been a facilitator this last year since early last spring of 2017, and this is just pleased that I'll be in my instructor role starting this fall with ACU. I completed my PhD studies last summer at Nova Southeastern University in Conflict Analysis and Resolution. And my bachelor undergrad work was with Middle Tennessee State University in pure sociology. I have a background also, my double minor in anthropology and physical education, middle school education studies. And I am from a military family, but I consider home and native Colorado. And my academic years from junior high school, we lived in the Upper Peninsula, Michigan, Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, and a Canadian border with my father's Air Force career. I can also share with you that my pastimes are that I enjoy swimming as a sport, and I also enjoy snorkeling. I've had the opportunity to do some snorkeling in Cozumel, and also enjoy snorkeling and swimming with manatees in the Crystal River area for Florida. That was one of the highlights when it comes to me being that individual with a love for water sports. I love to travel. I love cruises, and my other pastimes is I am a Civil War history buff, and I also enjoy needlework. I'm very heavily involved in the fiber arts, spinning, weaving, let's see, you name it, European needlework that has to do with lace making, tatting. Some people say I'm Martha Stewart's cousin that's here in the Rockies, but they're things that I've enjoyed and they've bring much joy to me. I am just so blessed to be with you all. I am also from a Christian background and accepted Christ when I was 10 years old. And I believe that also that being something valuable that has been a nice compliment to me being in the marketplace and ministering to people when there is that need for encouragement and some of the things we're talking about. And hopefully those will be an opportunity to infuse our spiritual perspective. What does Christ say that leadership looks like? So we will be exploring that. Another thing I was going to share with you also is we've got a couple of things that are different this semester. If you have any issues with writing that comes up, we do have an opportunity. It's something new, and I want you to look at the resources at the Canvas that has to do with assistance that you may need or areas with writing, which is through the ACU Writing Lab. And there is a document, I think, that our course designers provided for that. So look for that. If you have problems, let me know. The other is I'm hoping to have at least 2 Zoom sessions during this this coursework that we have the time. At least 2. If we need 3, or you all have an interest in more, please let me know, and we will work around that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to share with you. Any concerns that you have, please get in touch with me. If you use the email in Canvas, I assure you I will try and get back with you as soon as possible. I try to respond within a 24-hour period. If it is something that is sooner than that, just make a note of that you need information as soon as possible, and I'll make every effort. I will also be providing an announcement that will have things written out in detail, what my expectations are of the class and your participation. There will be some group work, and my times that are best to reach me is on Thursdays and Fridays after 6 p.m. That's Colorado time, and no time is too late. Those are evenings, especially Friday. It's kind of a late night for me, and I'm doing some catch up with academic review for myself in the class. So feel free to reach out, and if I need to talk to you by phone, let me know that, and we'll work that out too. But I am just thrilled again to be with you for this semester, and I want this to be an enjoyable time. This should be fun. All I ask you to do is do your very best, be interactive with your peers, be timely with the discussions, be timely with your assignments. Make sure that you don't wait till the last minute and get those in, because the system will mark it late, and in doing so, there's points that are deducted from that. Plagiarism is a huge thing, not only for myself, but also the university. It does indicate, shows our acceptance of our own personal integrity. So I encourage you, please do not plagiarize, and be sure and look at your ACU student manual for all the details on that. I think at this point in your academic journey, you all know that plagiarism, it is very serious, and it's not fair to the writers themselves, but it also comes with high liabilities. So that's all I can think of right now. But again, I'm just really looking forward to this time we have together. I'm kind of new to the video system processes, so thanks for bearing with me. But I am hoping that we just have a wonderful time on this journey, and us exploring the topic of power. A couple things. One more thing before I close out here. Just a reminder, there are 4 books that we'll be using in this course, and you should have your materials. If not, please get with your faculty, your advisor that you've been assigned to, if you have any glitches or hardships with that. But the first one is Predictability Irrational by Arlie. This is one we'll have, and you should have that already. The other book that we'll be using in the course is on making smart decisions. This is very, very informative. It is almost a compilation of a number of articles and commentaries that experts and professionals have contributed to this book, and it will be useful in the course. The other book we have is the one that's coming up later in the course, Power and Love by Kahani, and very informative. And I think you'll find some of the information that is presented in here to be insightful, and perhaps even create some creative approaches as to stepping out of the box when looking at decision making and leadership. And then this one, Thinking in New Boxes. And this is also a real informative book, and I think they're going to be wonderful resources, not only for the course, but including on your library going forward. So get ready for the ride. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to get in touch with me. My email, you should have it. It's already loaded in the system, but it's wyj08a@acu.edu, but preferably use the Canvas inbox. Find my drop email there, and I'll be getting in touch with you as soon as possible. Thanks, and have a good week. Glad to have you in the class.